Principal of Padma Shri Institute of Management and Sciences, for this webinar. I welcome our esteemed speakers, Dr. Srinath Ines and Dr. Mamta Mishra, for this webinar. It is an honor to have you joining us today. It's wonderful to see many passionate individuals joining, all connected by the power of technology. I welcome you all. In today's rapidly evolving world, the importance of exploring futuristic careers cannot be overstated. The rapid advancement in technology, artificial intelligence, and automation are reshaping in these industries and job markets at an unprecedented pace. Traditional career paths are shifting and new opportunities are emerging in previously uncharted territories. To thrive in this ever-changing landscape, we must be prepared to embrace new opportunities and adapt to emerging career paths. And it is essential for students and professionals alike to stay informed about these futuristic careers to remain competitive and relevant. So let's get started. We have esteemed panel of experts who will shed light on futuristic career paths and emerging opportunities. It is our hope that this webinar will equip you with valuable knowledge and inspire you to forge your path in ever-evolving landscape in the future. And also, during the webinar, we encourage active participation and engagement from all attendees. So we will reserve time for queries after every presentation, and we urge you to make use of this platform to interact with the panelists. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Dr. Anuradha, an esteemed principal of Padma Shri Institute of Management and Sciences, a renowned institution dedicated to provide quality education and also shaping the future of individuals. Madam has a PhD awarded from Sri Krishna Devaraya University, Antapura, in the year 1996. She is the president of Rishi Foundation and director of Rishi Herbal Technology Private Limited, and also chairperson for Subject Expert Committee in Home Science, Clinical Nutrition and Dietetics, Human Development, Care and Welfare, Government of Karnataka. With a wealth of experience and expertise in the field of education, our principal is here today to share her insights on career options and a walk through scholarship and grants. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Danya, for your nice introduction. Good morning, everyone. Actually, I request Mrs. Shubha to enable me to share the screen. Actually, today our first speaker is supposed to be Dr. Srinath from Merck. Unfortunately, he is having some emergency. So I thought I will start my talk and I will try to enlighten you regarding various career options which are there on board for you. This particular webinar is being, though we are doing time and again, this particular webinar is really taking a particular shape nowadays because students are having umpteen number of opportunities, and these opportunities are really taking them, making them to feel comfortable to choose their career of their passion. I'm sharing my screen. If you have any doubts, you can stop me in between and talk, or otherwise at the end, you can ask me whatever you feel like. Career is one thing which we start thinking about it from our 8th standard or 9th standard, but many a times we will be confused, puzzled, and we always feel that we are at crossroads. What is a career? First thing is you need to discover your passion. How to discover your passion? Generally, whenever you are studying something or you are doing some work, at that time you definitely forget yourself and you don't look at the watch. Oh, from past 2 hours, I'm engrossed in this, I forgot myself. Generally, it happens to this generation whenever they are looking into computers or their FB or their Instagram page. And similarly, whenever you are doing something which is related to your career, you definitely feel that you are lost and you are engrossed. That is your passion. You need to identify your passion and you start enjoying what you do. And career is perfectly your choice. It need to be your choice. It cannot be somebody who forces you or puts pressure on you. You become an engineer, you can earn a lot of money. You become a doctor, you can earn a lot of money. These are the kind of things what we listen here and there nowadays. Not nowadays, even when we are children, that used to happen. But career is not that. Career is the one. Money is not everything. Money is needed. But at the same time, you should enjoy earning that particular money. Then only you can be happy in your life. Who is the most successful person, do you think? Whom do you think who is the most happiest person in this world? People who really follow his passion. There are people who just get into the photography or get into forests and take wildlife photographs and they enjoy it, right? That is a career and that is their passion and they are following it. If you like something, you like cooking food. There are so many careers in cooking food also. You like traveling. There are careers in traveling. You like just looking at the old temples and architecture. You have careers in that. First, you need to think what is your passion. Most of us don't even get into this particular segment, that don't even think what is our passion, and finally we will feel that something we lost in our life. It should not happen. You have to really do SWOT analysis. What do you mean by SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis is identify your strength. What is your strength? You can sit hours together before computer. That is your strength. What is your weakness? You cannot tolerate some bad company, or you cannot work in the team. That is a weakness. And what is the opportunity? World is growing. Manufacturing sector is emerging like anything. And you need to get into something like which used to take 10 years, now it is taking just 1 year. COVID vaccination, we could able to get within 2 years. How it happened? How it happened within 2 years. Generally, any drug or any vaccination, it used to take 10 years. Now we could able to get that vaccination within 2 years. That means everything is fast. It earlier gone are those days where PhD used to take 10 years. Now within 2 to 3 years, you can get your PhD. That is because technology is growing. You have to keep pace with the technology. Keeping pace with the technology doesn't mean that be active in your Facebook or in your Instagram. Keeping pace with your technology is getting how best you can utilize artificial intelligence, how best you can utilize, how you can connect your own subject to artificial intelligence. It doesn't mean that as soon as I say that artificial intelligence, if your teacher gives us assignment, go just type in ChatGPT and get the essay. That is not the one which is using your artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is not losing your intelligence and depending more on that. Artificial intelligence is to strengthening your intelligence with artificial intelligence. These are all the things which you need to know. And what is the threat? One way, technology is a boon. At the same time, technology is a threat also for us. So you have to be balanced and you should learn how to get into this world of web and get out of it very safely with flying colors. Today, let us speak certain things. What are the challenges and opportunities? Overcoming the current educational system is both challenge and opportunity. You see, the current educational system is providing you opportunity. Very weird subjects are growing. Have you ever heard about certain subjects like actuaries, certain subjects like marketing, of insurance marketing, certain subjects like food, nutrition and dietetics and nutraceuticals? You would not have never heard. These are all the educational systems which are growing with the growing needs. And at the same time, you have to keep a balance. That is the challenge, and there is an opportunity and challenge. And every challenge has an opportunity. That we have very clearly witnessed during the COVID time, where every challenge has become a big opportunity. People could able to turn these challenges into opportunities. Now, skilled manpower has got high demand. That's why there are ministries like skill development and entrepreneurship development. There are ministries and departments, big IAS officers, and all these people are managing that segment because the skill is everything. If you are skilled, you can get money. A plumber who comes to your house, he just fixes a tap and he demands you 2,000 rupees because it is a skill that which you cannot do it. He is doing it in such a way. Everywhere there is a skill, and that skill you have to develop. And growing manufacturing sector, which is a big boom. Every industry is booming. Everywhere manufacturing is taking a big shape. That is why Make in India, make in Karnataka, all these things are coming into picture. When there is a manufacturing sector growth, there is a need for skilled manpower. Skilled manpower means not only managing machineries and handling the equipment. Skill is everything. If you want to talk, I'm talking with you, that is a skill. I should make you to listen till the end, that is a skill. And you have to convince people, that is a skill. All these skills, this is the right time where you can improve your skills and get into the real world of the truth. And you have to accept that, and you need to get into the real world. This is the age of the communication. When necessity is the mother of invention, creativity is the father of success. I always say that when you are having people identified airplanes, or people discovered, Columbus discovered India and all these things, how it happened? Vasco da Gama discovered many things. How it happened? Because there was a necessity to find out a place where they can do the trade. That's how it has been. It has become a discovery or invention. Many things which are being invented because there is a necessity. How COVID vaccine has been invented? There is a necessity. And there are many other inventions which have popped up during COVID time, which we have never seen before. There was an invention, a watch, a strap is being filled with sanitizer. You can just press a button and you can get a drop of sanitizer on your hand. That is a wonderful invention, because there is a necessity. You cannot always carry a sanitizer in your pocket or in your bag. So if a watch strap can hold 1 ml or 2 ml of sanitizer, that is wonderful, right? In a similar way, how it has been, because there was a necessity of the sanitizer, wherever you go, that's how that invention has come out. And creativity is the father of success. There is a lot of creativity in this. A watch holding sanitizer. So creativity should be part and parcel of your life. When it is part and parcel of your life, your necessity and creativity together make wonders. Now, before going into details of our particular topic, seminar topic, that career options, I just want to know that what is Padma Shri Institute of Management and Sciences? Padma Shri Institute of Management and Sciences is being founded under Padma Shri Charitable Trust, and a great visionary, Dr. C.N. Ashwath Narayan, is our founder. He was our ex-education minister and ex-DCM also. He is the person 25 years back who founded this particular institution with single course. And later this institution has grown beyond leaps and bounds. Today we are having 8 institutions and more than 35 courses, 35 programs offered by Padma Shri group of institutions. All programs are first of its kind. Many of the programs, we are the people offering only that program in Bangalore or sometimes even in India. And in Karnataka, many programs we started for the first time. One such program is physiotherapy and nutraceuticals and food processing and nutraceuticals. There are many public health. There are many programs which we have started for the first time in Karnataka. And it is been spearheaded by Sri T. K. Narayanappa and our chairman, Satish. Me being principal of this institution, I would like to tell that I am an industrialist turned into academician. So I try to put a lot of thoughts for the students where they can get into industry and they can start their own industry. Coming to our team is excellent. We are having more than 30 doctorates and with the industry experience. And also they are people who are foreign ex abroad people that who did their PDFs, and we have industry trained teachers and also net CSIR qualified teachers. Coming to the institution recognition, so we are as usual recognized by Government of Karnataka but affiliated to Bangalore University, and we are also having courses which are affiliated to Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. We do have permanent affiliation with Bangalore University and AICTE NAC accredited. We are waiting for the second cycle NAC results, and we are recognized under UGC sections 2F and 12B. It is very important that why should we get into 12B? It is not there for many institutions in Bangalore. If you go to UGC website, you can see Padma Shri which is listed under UGC. That indicates that it is a college which is duly recognized by University Grants Commission. There are many fake universities, many colleges which are coming up, and these universities and colleges, they claim that They are offering many programs, but at the same time, if they are not recognized by UGC, you will be in a soup. So you need to look into this. You have to go to UGC website and look into this, whether this college is recognized under 2F12B. That is one important aspect which I want to tell to you, and you can really tell to your friends who are getting into higher education. First, let them look into this particular thing. And we have a recognized research center by Bangalore University, and we are having, we had programs which are recognized by Government of Karnataka and the Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. That is one such program is Biotech Finishing School program. That is the first of its kind, and we pioneered that program, and I was a steering committee of convener of that program also. We are recognized as DDU Kaushal Kendra, which is one among 60 all over India. This is a prestigious flagship program of Government of India, where a lot of skill development programs have been inculcated and integrated into this particular thing. Under this, we are offering unique programs like food processing and nutraceuticals, which is BVOC and MVOC. Many of you might be having doubts that what is the difference between BVOC and BSc. In BVOC or BSc or MVOC or MSc, both are undergraduate and postgraduate programs recognized by UGC. That is underlined. It is recognized by UGC. But in MVOC, you will have more of skill development. That is 6 months you will have industry internship, which will not be there in MSc program. MSc program, you'll be having more of academics. Apart from the skills, here you will have industry internship also. It is not for 1 month, it will be for 6 months. And you have lateral entry. If you have done any 4 years program, like agricultural BSc or BDS or any other program, BBSc, you can directly take entry into the 3rd semester of post-graduation. That is 1 year you can save here if you are already doing a 4 years degree, like BE Biotechnology you have done. You can get into food technology and quality management, taking the lateral entry. That is the advantage of DDU Kaushal Kendra. As I have divided my talk into 2. One is the career options, another one is scholarship opportunities. I'm talking about career options now. And this is our journey. We have so many programs. I don't want to list out the programs. You can get into our website and you can see our programs. What is expected when you are applying for a job? What is expected? First thing is you need to have proper planning. Without planning, you just get into a job. It is like very difficult. You go to a job interview and they will ask you a question. What is your interest? Then immediately you should not be saying that my interest is in COVID vaccine preparation. That company may not be working in that. You have to learn thoroughly about the company and know what they are expecting and plan for it and get those skills trained, at least the theoretical part of it. You have to learn and go for the interview. You need to get into soft skills. Managing people and working in a team is very, very important. And your language skills are highly important. And you need to have good communication skills and dual degree, which we are offering at Padma Shri. When you are doing your degree, you can do along with this. There is a certificate program or PG diploma program, which you can do it along with your degree. UGC itself is allowing this dual degree programs. This is very important. Publications. We insist our students to publish compulsorily. All our students need to publish a paper compulsorily before they leave this organization, especially postgraduates. If we insist on these publications or poster presentations, they can get into job market very easily. You need to definitely do projects and internships, whether it is there in the curriculum or if it is not there in the curriculum, because there you will have a live experience of industry work or the job what you do. So it is very important. Above all, your personality and your attitude is very, very important. Without attitude, you cannot shine in the government or private or anywhere. Career options. There are many career options for every segment. For food segment and health sciences segment, life sciences segment and management segment and computer applications. You have job opportunities in all the 3 sectors: government sector, private sector and entrepreneurship. Government sector, apart from UPSC, and there are places where you can get into like group 4, group 2, group 3 services, KAS, and also there are many jobs like in ICR, that is Agricultural Council, ICMR, Indian Council for Medicinal Research. You can get as scientist, you can write the jobs and you can write the exams and you can get into those jobs. Apart from this, railways, banks, there are many other segments which you don't know, like CSR labs. There are many scientist positions every year they advertise. You can get into government sector. Private sector, sky is the limit. There are many private industries which are more than 80% of biotechnology and food sciences industries and IT industries are located in Karnataka. Karnataka is biotech capital and IT capital of India. When you say this, you are confident that you can get into many jobs in the private sector. Not but the least, it is entrepreneurship, where you can really get into startup mode. Nowadays, startups are becoming a buzzword, a keyword, where government is supporting like left, right, center. They give 50 lakhs if you have a good proof of concept idea immediately to start your company. And again, Karnataka is startup capital of India. We every year bagging first or second prize throughout India that the best startup capital in India. So you have opportunities in Karnataka, plenty, umpteen number of opportunities. Here in Bangalore, there are many incubation centers. Apart from this incubation centers, you have accelerators. What do you mean by this incubation center? Where they will give opportunity. Padmashri is having one such center where they give opportunity to do your business. When you start your business, you will not be knowing how to start a business, how to register a company. You will not be knowing how to file a patent. All this facilitation, these incubators will do. They give seed money also to start your business. Coming to, these are all the places, where you can work after doing life sciences or health sciences or into IT. You can work in all these companies, whatever I have listed. I have listed only sectors. In each sector, you will have hundreds of companies. Don't think that you are unemployed and you don't have job market. You can start either a business in all these areas, or you can start, you can join in these companies in pharma, nutraceuticals, herbal industry, veterinary drugs, agriculture products, cosmeceuticals, aquaceuticals, poultry products, fishery, perfumery, food, flavor, essential oils, meat, breweries, confectionery. You need IT people, you need technical people, you need skilled people, you need managers, you need assistants, you need technicians. Everywhere there is an opportunity. Only thing is you need to get those skills ready. How you should be, you should think out of the box. If you do everybody, I want to become an engineer, I want to become a doctor, I want to do one particular specialization, I want to start a thing. It is like regularly, it is a process which is going on highly competitive. If you think out of the box, there are many jobs people are not aware of, and you have to get into those things and you can definitely survive. And no rote learning, just mugging up or writing in the examinations very well, getting 90% marks will not save your skin. You need to really think out of box, and there should not be no rote learning. You have to give a lot of importance onto practical based learning, and you need to participate in debates, seminars, and the mentorship. Then only this particular thing like career option or career opportunity will knock your door. Otherwise, it is very tough. What are the skills required to excel? You need life skills, you need positive thinking. The first thing is you need to have positive thinking. Don't copy somebody because my neighbor has joined in biotechnology or my neighbor has joined computer applications. I also need to go and join. Or my father told me, my brother told me. That will not help you out. You need to really choose the career with a lot of positive thinking and think what you can do, what is your strength, and then improve your technical skills simultaneously. Whether you are into biotechnology, food sector, or any marketing sector, or you are just a journalist, but still you need to have computer knowledge. Basic computer knowledge is must. Today I am talking to you remotely. This is because of the technical advancement. If I don't know how to use a Zoom platform, how can I speak with you? It is very, very important. I cannot say that, I cannot take the excuse that I am old generation person. I studied in 90s, so I cannot get into the system. I cannot work with the computer. You need to have belongingness, and you need to have involvement, and you need to have communication skills, and you need to have knowledge. And these are all the commitment. Above all, you need to have commitment. That is very, very important. Without having committed knowledge, you cannot get into the thing what you are expecting. Here, I want to tell you one particular slide. You can see an eagle, you can see a cheetah, you can see ants here. Why these pictures, whether they are connected to this or not? This eagle has been, I represent, I love this image actually. Every time, whenever I talk about careers, I give this image to people. See, eagle, why I'm asking you to look at the eagle? It grabs the opportunity, it will be flying very high on the sky, and it can see a snake or a rat on the ground, and it can immediately come and pick it up and see the swiftness and fastness. It has to land and it has to pick it up and it has to go. It is picking its opportunity to have food. You should have a sight like eagle, and you should be very fast like cheetah. How swift and fast cheetah is, it never misses its target. So you have to be swift and fast like a cheetah. And don't forget the ants. You have to learn two things from ants. One is, during summer it collects all its food for its rainy season. That is one thing which you need to learn. Other thing what you have to learn is teamwork from the ants. That is very, very important. You have to work like a team. And coming to second half of my talk, I will be spending only 5 minutes time on this. And in this half, I just want to mention about scholarship opportunities for education. Everything is good, ma'am. There is a opportunity, there are options, there are various careers. But how do we pay the fees? And how do we get into this particular thing, particular job opportunity or particular education thing while getting into this scholarship opportunities, while getting into this education? This scholarship opportunities for higher education. Why the scholarship is being given? What is a scholarship? First, let us see that it is a financial support provided for education, and it is awarded based on academic achievement, and it is provided to disadvantaged groups, maybe economically backward or socially backward or physically disabled or ex-servicemen, children of ex-servicemen, and also support for other achievements. What are the other achievements? You may be very good in NCC or NSS or sports. For these achievements also, these scholarships have been provided. These achievements have been provided. Okay, now let us see what are the various scholarships which we can look into. I'm sorry, a little bit of it is not moving. Yeah, there are various schemes. One is the central government scheme, state government scheme, and philanthropic agencies. Central government, you could able to understand. State government, you can understand. Philanthropic agencies are the agencies which are private agencies. Okay. For example, it is just an example. Only one glimpse, only one slide I kept it for this. See this, Ministry of Minority Affairs gives scholarships for minority students. Who are these minorities? People who are in a smaller population, like Jains, Parsons, Christians, Muslims. There are many minorities which are listed under this. There are 5 lakh scholarships per year. They advertise at that time, you have to apply. And they give up to 60,000 per year towards your fees. And you have scholarships. Again, one more thing which I want to tell. See this central sector scheme for colleges and university students. 82,000 scholarships have been dispersed every year. You need to know about these scholarships and get into this. How to know about these scholarships? You need to. There is now what they made is, it is a single portal. It is National Scholarship Portal. It is a single window where all these scholarships can be applied under this. I've given some more examples. Do you know that there is a scholarship for single girl child? If you are a single girl child, you can get complete your education reimbursement. So there is a scholarship for single girl child, and there are 3,000 number scholarships every year for this single girl child. Many of the scholarships are not being utilized. They go back to the government. That is a scenario. And we have in our website, there is a PDF which gives complete information about all the scholarships. I am giving only 2 slides about this, but there are hundreds and thousands of scholarships. And Ishan Uday scholarship, this is only for Northeastern region. If you belong to Northeastern region or your friend is there in Northeast of India, they have 10,000 scholarships and they have many other advantages being in the underdeveloped area. You have PG scholarship for university rank holders. If you are a first or second rank holder in your undergraduation, you will get a scholarship for university rank, being university rank holder. You have SC/ST scholarships. You have Pragati scholarship for girl students. There are many more scholarships. What we do at Padma Shri, every year I conduct this scholarship awareness program, but still students will have problems. What are the problems? When they are applying, they don't upload the documents properly. They don't give the correct document. They don't give the correct information. At that time, the scholarship will not come. We have a dedicated scholarship cell at the institution, and they help you whenever you have a problem in the scholarship. And you have to register in the scholarship portal. That is very, very important. Now you will be getting into your first year of many courses, or you are getting into second year. If you have registered, you have to renew the scholarship. And students need proper guidance, that we will do it, and we'll be sending them to the right people when they need certain guidance for this scholarship. Hand holding we give to eligible students. Even for research grants also, we make them to apply. Every eligible student will be made to apply. E-attestation officers will take care of the National Scholarship Portal. I think this is my last slide, and I just want to tell you what is our success story at Padma Shri. At Padma Shri, many students got selected for this minority and other scholarship. That is a regular process. And we have DST Women Scientist Scheme, where women scientists with a break in career. We had 3 women scientists who worked in our organization, and later they are absorbed. And we have biotech finishing school and biotech skill enhancement program. We have DST Raja Jayanti scheme. We have VGST SPICE program, VGST TRIPS program, DST SCRP PDF, and CSIR summer internships, and CSR UGC GATE fellowships. We conduct a separate training for this CSR UGC GATE, and this particular thing, they get 28,000 or up to 34,000 per month fellowship when they are pursuing their PhD. That is the advantage of CSR UGC GATE. And once you qualify CSR UGC, you need not qualify again lecturership. That itself is considered as your lecturership if you want to get into higher education or assistant professor or associate professor. There are many things which will help you either partially or fully to get into the scholarships. Apart from this, Padma Shri by itself is having Padma Shri merit scholarships. Many students take the advantage of it. Many people, they don't. But this Padma Shri merit scholarships from this year onwards is highly streamlined. You need to apply, submitting all the documents. When you apply and submit all the documents, the scholarship committee will meet, and this scholarship committee will disperse the scholarships, either partial waiving of the fees, or sometimes the cash scholarships, or sometimes support partially to their education. It may be higher education here at Padma Shri or for PhD programs. And this happens only through a channel, only through the committee. You need to talk to your mentor, and you need to talk to your head of the department or your class teacher, and take the application form, fill up the application form, and give all the details why you should get that scholarship. Whether you are highly meritorious, or you are having some disadvantage, you belong to the disadvantaged group, or you are a child of an ex-serviceman, or you are NSS, or you are sports. You need to come out with the proper documentation, submit it to the class teacher. As soon as you submit, committee will meet once in 6 months, and they will decide whether you are eligible for that scholarship or not. And finally, you will be getting scholarship. At the same time, when it comes to success stories of Padma Shri, we have banked more than 20 university ranks and more than 9 gold medals this year, and successively it is happening from past few years that Padma Shri is every year banking Bangalore University gold medals and also merit scholarships, which have been meritorious ranks, which take the students to higher education with flying colors. With this, I just want to tell you one thing. The success mantra is do what you love, and that is career, and love what you do, that is the job. These two things, if you follow this mantra, definitely you'll be happy in your life. Anyway, have a nice weekend. I wish you all the success for your good career, either after your UG to PG, or after your PG to UG, or after your PG to PhD program. I hope this talk will help you and guide you. And this is not the end of the story. At any time, you can call us or you can talk to us for your guidance in your success, in your career success. And please do inform us if you have achieved anything in your life. We'll be the happiest people and we will definitely encourage you and support you for achieving many more things in your life. Wish you all the best. Thank you, Varunda.
Thank you, ma'am. It's fascinating to see how evolving job market and presenting new opportunities and also overview about our institute and our other scholarship grants available. Participants can raise your hand and pose the questions, but we'll take it at the end of the webinar. It is now my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Mamta Mishra, founder of Green Trek Food Tech Private Limited, Bangalore. Dr. Mamta Mishra ma'am holds a doctorate in food science and nutrition. She is a pioneer in the field of food safety in India. Her interests lie in engineering creative solutions by leveraging information technology and business intelligence in the area of nutrition, food science, and especially food safety. She specializes in food safety audits, implementation of food safety management system, and educating food handlers on safety and hygiene. She has engineered and implemented food safety and compliance systems for various sectors in food business. And also, Madam has done numerous workshops on food and nutrition, sports nutrition, managed diet counseling clinics, and trained the urban workforce on healthy eating and lifestyle choices. Madam will be delving into the world of futuristic careers, enlightening us about the exciting opportunities that lie ahead. We are thrilled to have you join us today, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dhanya. A very warm good morning to everyone. Good morning, Dr. Anuradha, and to all
Very
the
good morning.
students. Thank you, ma'am. So it's always nice to be amongst the young energy and the people who are going to be handling the tomorrow for all of us. And I would like to thank Padma Shri for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to share what I have seen and learned from the industry and what are the possible opportunities that that is available for all the students who've joined us today. I have a small presentation that I have created, which I would like you guys to see. And if there's anything you want to know more about, drill down in any of these topics, please feel free to ask me questions. Uh, can you give me access to sharing the slide, Dhanya?
Ma'am, the access is given. You can start sharing it.
I don't know why it says it's not.
Can you please check now, ma'am?
It's just going round and
That's probably because of network issue because the option is open to share.
okay. Let me just try and again. Can I just join you back, close and join you back? It's not responding.
Yeah, sure. Or you can send me PPT, I will share it.
I think she,
I'm checking.
yeah, she again joining. Dr. Mamta Mishra is closely associated with us, and she is actually, she conducts many programs in FASTAC in FSSI, so that students who want to get into jobs will help them to get trained in this quality programs. Nowadays, quality is very, very important, and people are really working into this particular segment. So you can get in touch with her or get in touch with our people so that you can do this programs. Yeah, she's on. You can, yeah, over to Mamta Mishra.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm so sorry for this. It suddenly stopped working. So, a warm good morning to everyone and welcome you back. And like ma'am had shared the last slide, where it's very important to do what you love. And it's something that I can really connect with. And if you ask me, I think every single morning I wake up to this beautiful feeling of looking forward to working, you know, uh, looking forward to adding, more uh, to the industry. And if you see the entire food sector, we are feeding the 140 crore Indian population. If we just look and restrict to the Indian population, and we are one of the fastest growing, population wise. And if you look at also food as a business, almost 20% of the GDP comes from food. So food is something which is something you can't do without, and it's always going to be in demand. And there are various streams of food that you can look at for opportunities. And yes, back then when I completed my course, in 2002, when I came out, I was kind of really confused as to what should I be doing, because back then the awareness was really low. Unlike how right now Dr. Anuradha and the team is working towards creating awareness and supporting you, ensuring that you have campus placement at times, or at least guiding you in the right direction with the specialization and the complete the complete view of the 360-degree view from where you can actually choose and pick and move in that direction. Back then in 2002 we really didn't have. So if you ask my career, I have touched almost all fields of food, from research to sports to clinical. I'm a clinical qualified nutritionist. I have worked in the area of food safety and trainings, business development. So I've done it almost all, if you look at my career of the last 21 years. So this small presentation which I've created is going to help you understand what are the job opportunities for food science and technology students, both in government as well as private sectors. So it's very important to map your skills to the food industry. So which means that it's very important for you to identify with your own self as to what is that, at the core of it you are as a person. Now there are a lot of people who are very comfortable being in the back end and not really want to come in the in the forefront. There are a lot of people who like to do a specific kind of jobs. Like for example, communication could be a strength, and people like talking, so there's a different profile. So it's very important to first understand what is what is you as a person, your skills, your soft skills, in terms of your likes and dislikes, and the hard skills, which is more of what your qualification is what you have over a period of time studied and understood. So the hard skills and soft skills come together, to help you choose the career path that you're looking into. And it might at initially, you might feel this is the right job and this is what I would like to do, but then over a period of time, there are times, like I always feel this, and this is my personal experience, that when you go deep in knowledge, that is when you go in depth in knowledge, you also have to broaden your perspective, and that actually brings in learning. So the more you deep you go, the more open you are to the things happening around, the more you learn. And when you learn more, there's more creativity, there's more excitement that comes into your job, there's more openness to looking at bigger challenges. So personally, I would say that, all students who are here, please keep your mind open. Be an empty cup of, yeah, empty glass, an empty cup where you can continue to learn. Even today, if you ask me, at times there are days where I completely feel that I know nothing and there is so much to see and learn. The more people you meet, the more challenges you see, the more work you do, the bigger constraints you see. And then you learn to, with the science background, with the structure that you have got from your education, you're able to see what is that you can contribute. So you are always going to be a contributor, like ma'am said, beautifully, that work like an ant, a teamwork. So it becomes very critical that you are in sync with the vision of wherever you're going. It could be a government sector, it could be a private sector. You have to align yourself to what the vision of that particular company is, the vision of that particular program is, and based on which you start working around. And remember that once you've chosen food, now, your next 40 years you're stuck, right? So you're going to be doing, work in this same field. Now, it can get monotonous if you're not going to be experimenting. So it's very important that you realize your strengths and think of it that if I'm going to be in this field for the next 40 years, what is that I would like to do? Do I want it to be in the back end, in the front end, or I want to do both of it, learn and things like that. So it's very critical to have the prerequisite skills, both soft skills and hard skills, and which you obviously are going to be building over a period of time. It's not like what I am today is because of what I have been learning through the time period. So when we look at, say, the government programs that we have, there are so many of them which are connected to food. You have the integrated rural development program, training of rural youth, and these are all schemes where food, nutrition, food science, all these things do get, are a part of all these programs. So you have the RSETI, you have the rural national rural employment, your Jawahar Rozgar Yojana, you have the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, you have the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, and you have the Startup India scheme, you have the Startup India scheme for the OBCs, where you're even supported with funds, and you have the Atmanirbhar program. So under all these, you can actually be an entrepreneur. And you can work, one is with the government, or you can even be an entrepreneur, and you can contribute. uh, I want you to also understand that when we talk about food, right, you have the organized sector and then you have the unorganized sector. And each sector, for example, like if you look at, say, milk and milk products. Now, milk and milk products, you have a very structured approach today. What was 50 years ago is very different from what we have today. We have milk collecting centers in every village, and from the villages you have, this gets passed on to the main cities, where you have the milk dairies where things happen. So over a period of time, there is a structure that's come in, but when you look at it, it involves both, and it's like an organized sector today, but it wasn't so a couple of years ago, which means that there could be some areas where you probably are going to be seeing an interest. Maybe, you would want to develop your own products, like you have the self-help groups, which is supported by government. But then, when you come from a science background, you come from the food science background, like you walk into any of your retail shop, you will see that there are branded products. You will see a Britannia, and ITC and many others. Then you will also see, a local Warrior Bakery products, and many others which probably don't even have labels. So as a specialist, I think you have a great opportunity out there to get into, to be an entrepreneur, or to be to be taking up a job. And when you're taking up a job, the government sectors, again, is a great place to start supporting, where you have the educational background. Once you understand what the scheme is about, then you integrate it and, start supporting the industry. So the government initiatives towards food. So if you have heard, there are many, many agencies. Like for example, there is an agency which is a government and industry supported, called as FIXI, which is into trainings of for the food industry. So there is a lot of initiatives that the government is taking to support the food industry. So there is a lot of opportunity there for you to work in, for example, human resource intensive manufacturing sectors. So where you're trained and you can have placement in the manufacturing industry. And food processing is so large. So you have the beverages, you have the fruits and vegetable sector, you have the milk industry, like I told you, seafood, nutraceuticals, you have the bakery sector, you have the the hardcore manufacturing sectors, you have the retail, you have the e-commerce sector, which is like online sales. So there's so many sectors that you actually can get into. So there are these special packages also that the government is designing. And if, for example, if you talk to an institute like FIXI, after you have completed your course, and they also do these trainings, and then it is their job to ensure that you get the right placements. So this is also something which is happening simultaneously. Then you have the public investment sectors in food, health, education, policy, judiciary. So again, these are all government jobs, government related jobs, where, for example, if you work, you can work for FSSAI, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. You can work for FDA. You can work for WHO programs which are in India. So there are various programs, which are again public investment, or you could be have an investment from outside India, where you can again look at those opportunities. Then you have the decentralized of industrial to ensure people in every region get employment, again under this scheme also, where the government is supporting, like I said, the self-help groups, both in rural areas as well as in urban areas. Then you have entrepreneur generated employments to many in the country. Therefore, government is encouraging entrepreneurship. So this is again, like I said, the direction. So as women entrepreneurs, you can avail certain funds. There are huge schemes that are there which you can really benefit from. And otherwise also, if you're an MSME, a mid-size employment, then you can again avail many benefits. For example, the payment terms that you would have, people who are working or availing your service will have to make payments in a in a structured fashion, where it, being an entrepreneur, a lot of times these schemes help, because people can't take you for a ride. They're equally responsible. But also what happens is that any job that you pick up, or you plan to be an entrepreneur, it's very important to understand business. It's important to also understand how the financial management happens. So please think through, if you like to get into something on an entrepreneurial, like how I have. It's a very positive thing. But yes, it's not as romantic as as beautiful as it looks, the high that you get, but it's equally challenging. But I would say 21 years into it now on my own, I'd say it's beautiful. There's a lot that you can do, and because you're your own master, you can really experiment. But then you have to have a vision, and you have to be walking in that direction, and continue to have mentors and support who can keep guiding you on that. Also, the educational system, you can be getting into trainings, you can get into teaching, and also the skill development authority, you have the NEP, national employment policy, and all these actually are the agenda for sustainable development, and all these cover food. So when we look at from a government standpoint, you have Ministry of Food Processing, you have a PIDA, which is Agriculture and Processed Food Export Development Authority. These are very well defined government sectors, right? Then you have Marine Products Export Development Authority, you have Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, you have FSSAI. So these are various places where you can definitely apply and see whenever there is an opening. You have NIFTM. I'm sure you're already aware of the National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneur and Management. Then you have the Indian Council of Agriculture Research. You have the CFTRA, Central Food Technology Research Institute. You have the Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology, Central Marine Fisheries Research Institutes. So these are various institutes which are associated with food, which you can work with. You'll have to continue to visit their website and keep looking for any opportunities or any research or any program that they're coming up with, and a lot of job openings that keep coming up in these places. So when you look at India market, again, a little brief about what I already spoke about initially. It's big business, right? If you see, we're already 865 billion, this year. We are the sixth largest food and grocery market. And this is also purely because of our own, population. Food processing contributes to 14 GDP, and the rest that I told you, more than 20, is also coming from the agriculture sector, which again is under food. And then you have your 31% income spent on food. So any individual, so for example, if you look at your own parents or your own, you start calculating on how the income is spent, 31% is spent on food, which means that invariably food is always going to be in business, right? If you want to sell something, you want to buy something, there is going to be a structure, and that structure is going to is business. And please remember one thing that I would very, very firmly put it here, because this is my learning. When you go out into the market looking for a job, or you become an entrepreneur, do anything post your education, please remember you are in the business of food. I again want to repeat this, you are in the business of food. So you will have to understand that whatever you're doing is to contribute towards this particular food business. And you need to be very, very professional with how you approach it. You need to understand the responsibility that you carry, right? It's a big business, and you need to understand the bigger picture. You might start small, but at some point you will see that there's a huge contribution that you and your colleagues are doing to this business of food. So if you look at it, there are more than 125 companies. And if you look at the total, there's more than 100 crores, which is purely within just this 125 top companies which are in the market. And 30% is organized, 70% is unorganized. So still you have a huge percentage of food business which is unorganized, which is an opportunity for you. So food service market, if you look at it, this is, I'm talking about food service, which could be, your hotels and restaurants, and, I'm talking about the service industry. So you have organized sector, you have unorganized sector. In the organized sector, you have 70%, and some chain restaurants, like, for example, you have Adayar Ananda Bhavan in Bangalore, which is like a chain of restaurants. You have Anand Sweets, which is again a chain of retail sweets. So if you look at it, the percentage of organized is just 30%, But even in the 30%, majority of it is again, standalone, and some of them is chain. And then you have restaurants and hotels, which are 9%, which are still organized, and the remaining are all unorganized, right? So there's a huge percentage of unorganized food business. So that means that there is an opportunity for all of you, because you come from specialized area and you can support them in establishing systems. And see, what is that makes it business? When you start working with the industry, it is important to standardize processes, whether it is, service industry, whether it's manufacturing industry, whether it's retail. It's very important to standardize the system, and that's where your science comes into, comes handy, where the subject, so that you can, support in making, a structure out of how work happens. And that is when, once you standardize, that's where every product that comes out is is structured, and you're able to sustain it. So business should always be sustainable, and that's where science comes into picture. So if we look at the other industry, now we spoke about the service industry, this is the manufacturing industry. You have, the government itself has, invested in major food parks. So for example, in Tumkur, we have the food park. Like that, we have different food parks. So you can see here that, there are so many food parks. That is, 18 are already operational, and 19 are in progress, which means they are still being worked on. And how the mega food parks, tech parks work, like you have the IT tech parks in Bangalore, you have a similar food tech parks. So here you have multiple food manufacturing happening in one area, and they are supported by all supporting activities like food testing, water testing, or say you have some kind of other support in terms of, say, supply of raw materials in a structured fashion, or if you're looking at human resource deployment, structured deployment. So the government has created a structure where these mega food parks is made accessible and structured in a way where it becomes very handy for the business to be very easily done. So for ease of business, all these food tech parks are being, and if a huge percentage, close to 30% of food goes waste because it doesn't reach, the manufacturing unit or the end user at the right time. So these tech parks are, food parks are basically to support this particular activity. Then there is also a lot of investment which is happening in the cold chain. And cold chain, in food, we always say hot stays hot, cold stays cold. So the vegetables, fruits, and milk, and eggs, and fish, and poultry, these all require cold chain. So again, the government has invested, and we are continuing to receive a lot of investment from outside India for these cold chain units. So this is again something, so if you look at the food industry as such, manufacturing, I've already shared this with you. There's meat, there's fish, there's fruits, vegetable, milling, baking, biscuits, pasta. Now, when you look at the industry, these are just a few examples I've just put across. But if you look at the food industry, for example, milk. Now, milk has, the Dairy Institute, technology, which is, has the dairy technologists coming out of this particular institute. So they are equipped with the knowledge. But along with the dairy experts, they also need people from the food science background to run the operations, because dairy specialists have one vertical of understanding, but to support the activities, they need a food science, food technology, team to support them in day-to-day operations, establishing certain processes or maintaining certain paperwork. So what I see is, even if you're a bakery specialist, you could be a person who's done masters in fisheries, but you still need food science people, in my experience, to support certain activities, because as food scientists, as food technologists, you understand the skeletal structure of how the food works, right? You could put any food into it, but the structure remains the same, right? So you are somebody who can actually support the entire stream of various industries, and you still have a place there, although there are specialists who are doing it, but you still have your part to play where you can support the entire activity. Please keep your mind open. Again, I want to specify this. At the beginning of the session, I told you that please be open to learning, open to doing jobs. No job is small or big. And initially, like I told you, I went through so many different jobs to realize where I want to be. And I realized in 2006 that my interest lies in food safety. And that's where I did my PhD in food safety. I'm a national resource person with Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. I work with the central and the state team. I train the new hires of FSSAI in various states. So I have been doing, and that has happened because I realized that that's my core area that I want to. But I did work in various, sectors before I realized what my strength is. So at times you may have to work and understand and give it some time. Instant gratification won't happen. It's like, you're not going to be kind of garlanded for learning a certain skill, or doing your job in a certain way. You have to give it time, you have to learn, you have to be patient. Theory is great, but then when you come to practical aspect of it takes its own time. So you have to give it some time to learn the tricks of the trade, and then continue that specific line of work. So I have just bucketed a couple of things for you guys so that you can really put it in a slot if you want to in your mind. So academics, that's one line of work that you can look at, where you can teach, like how you have Dr. Anuradha, Dr. Indu, Dr. Sharda and Dhanya and Shubha. So you can yourself also get into the line of teaching. Then you have government institutions. I've already shared with you that this is again another line of work that you can get into. R&D, where you're doing new product development, you're doing research on already existing products, how to improve, what to do. Then you can get into the food industry as operations executive, where you can support the industry. Like I told you, it could be any food industry. You will still be a very important requirement in that industry. You can get into sales and marketing. I don't see too many people get into this, but this is amazing. Trust me, if you have the skill to skill of communication, verbal and written, please remember that you need to learn to write. You should be able to communicate. And communication, it's not just when we talk about verbal or non-verbal. It's very important to understand the dynamics of where you're working, what you're doing, and how you do it. So if you have a knack, if you're a person who's very open, who's doesn't have stage fear, can talk freely, can have a free mind, I think sales and marketing again is an area where I don't see too many people going in, but that's definitely an area that you should explore. And then you have the trainer. As FOSTAC, you can become a trainer yourself, but that would require at least a minimum of 5 years of experience of the industry for you to get into it. Then you can be an auditor like me. I'm a third party auditor. So wherein, you are, again, this would require some amount of specialization and work in the industry for you to be the auditor. And that's again a very interesting line of work where you continue to learn, but you have to be on top of what the regulatory requirements are, what the statutory requirements are, and not just food laws, but you'll also need to know other laws associated with food, like how a labor law works, how a pollution control board works, how maybe EHS works, environment, health, and safety works. So you'll need to kind of learn a lot of things and be on top of it. how a Consumer Protection Act, how does things work? Because again, you're in the business of food. So when you are auditing an industry, looking at the entire business of food there, that's a very interesting profile that you can also build. But that comes in as an auditor, as a fast track, when it needs so many years of work on ground for you to do this work. Safety and hygiene, again, this is a very interesting work. This is something that we do, and we do hire a lot of people in this, and we've been hiring people from Padma Shri. So this is again a line of work that you can, hygiene officers are in demand everywhere in the food industry. Then you have the hospitality, where you can become a chef, you can be a good food hygiene manager in the hotels, and that's again a very beautiful line of work. And you also get exposed to people. Again, this involves communication, where you should be able to communicate. For example, hospitality is quite sensitive, in that sense, where you have to have the patience to listen, hear, read body language of people there, and make them comfortable. Somebody says, I had food poisoning, I'm feeling stomach upset. So how do you, as a hygiene person, as a safety person, as a food person, you're going to communicate to that person your orientation towards that particular work as such, your own discipline at work, and also your own work standards. And then of course, as an entrepreneur, you can build your own thing. You can work with NGOs which are working in the field of food. And then you have the agriculture, you can get into farming. Then you can be a nutritionist. You can be a nutritionist. You can be a sports nutritionist in specific, like you can be a clinical nutritionist, you can be a counselor, you can be a sports nutritionist, you can work in hospitals, you can be a holistic counselor, you can be a blogger, writer. This is again in demand. And I know you guys are the Instagram generation, so you would be constantly blogging and reviewing. So this is again another area that you can be in. You can be a professional taster. If your sensory evaluation is great and you feel you have a sensitive tongue, your taste buds are very strong, you can even get into a professional. Way back in 2008, I remember, I met this lady called Suhasini, and she was the first coffee taster of India, a female coffee taster. I remember her so well. I even have pictures. The other day it popped up actually, and that's how I was reminded. And it was very unique, of course, because I'm from Mysore and I studied and I used to visit CFTRI. I knew about the entire, the sensory evaluation department as such and how they work. But it was very unique when I met her, how her career had progressed as a coffee taster, and the beautiful work that she has done in the past. So it was really, really wonderful. uh, and you can also explore, in case you have you're interested, you can also get into breweries, because again they have microbiologists but also food technologists. You can be a food stylist, you can be a restaurant designer, you can be a mycologist, you can work with labs. So these are various things that you can be doing. But what I would definitely want to say is, from the point that I have been interacting with youngsters, um, is that I would say that it's very important to be humble. Please remember to be humble, to be ready to learn. Humility is so important, and be open to learning. No job is big or small, and give yourself time to learn. Don't be in a hurry, because specialization, like we say, you need 10,000 hours of practice to really specialize a certain field. And you should give yourself that kind of a time to be able to learn and contribute. And remember that there is somebody out there who's created that vision, and you're supporting that vision. So be aligned to that vision, be alert to that vision. And I would also say, be very serious about, in that sense about what your content could be, just, a couple of hours of work at times, where maybe you're giving yourself, but then, those couple of hours should be, 100% dedication. So you have to be dedicated, you have to be aligned, you have to be in that time. And because there's a lot of distraction around, I see a lot of people, nowadays, where, when they come and they're so distracted with social media, they are, they're not really committed in that sense. So I would say it's very important to be committed, to be in that particular moment, be open, and give it your best, because, you know if you want to grow, like I said, you have to dive deep, and you have to, the more you dive deep, the more you broaden your perspectives, the more you learn, the more you explore, the more challenges that come up. So I again go back to how I started my session today, ki it's important to kind of go deep into whatever you're doing. And you have a beautiful 40 years ahead of you, your career. You can do magic, you can do wonderful, you can be a great contributor to the nation. And food is basic. Even you go out and eat tomorrow, you have your children are going to eat. So remember that it's a huge responsibility you're carrying on your shoulders, that it's not just today but the tomorrow that you're attending. And with the population increase and with the land size going to be the same, it's going to be very critical that the resources are utilized well. So it's a huge responsibility from a sustainability standpoint that you're going to be, working on. So my best wishes to all of you. I'm sure you're going to rock. And thank you very much, Dr. Anuradha and everyone, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Mamta. Danya, you're on mute. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. That was really a wonderful presentation, and your insights has certainly opened our eyes to vast potential that awaits in the realm of futuristic careers. So thank you once again, ma'am. And participants, if you have any queries, please post your questions in chat box or question and answer feature.
How to start as an entrepreneur? It seems very complex, but I wish to be one, Grishma. Yeah. Well, I would say you need to be crazy in some sense. You need to be really, really passionate. But along with being passionate, you also need to be practical about your idea. And you need to have a very structured milestone-based plan wherein you know exactly what you're going to be doing 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 1 year from now, 5 years from now. So you need to be very, very balanced in that sense. Ki, this is all coming from my learning, because back then, nobody really knew what an entrepreneurship was, and a woman entrepreneurship is tough because it's not as simple, because then, you're balancing, you get married and then you have a child. So there are things that keep happening on the way, but you need to kind of have a clear vision. The clarity of a vision is very important. And, when you're clear about your idea and you communicate with the same clarity with people around you, then it becomes a lot easier for you to put things together, right? So you have to be transparent and honest about what you want to do, how you want to do, and then people will start contributing to your ideas. So either you're contributing to somebody else's idea or you want people to contribute to your idea. So it depends on which side of the business you want to be in, right? So
actually, adding to this, it is not that tough like earlier, where you find it very tough to start a business. You have incubators everywhere and they will guide you, they will handhold you till you take off. That advantage is there for this generation. Definitely, you need to think about it, and you can take up Grishma.
Absolutely, absolutely. But like I said, have clarity and have a proper, clear vision of what you want to do.
There's one more question. What are the exams we need to crack to enter government sector job?
Yeah, so these are mostly posted on the website itself, on how you can go about with things. So just keep a check on all these websites which I spoke about, and they will post, what it is and what's the kind of syllabus they're looking at times. They'll be very, very clear on all those points. Any other question?
Questions? I don't see any more questions.
Okay. So we wrap up.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much. Thank you. I wish all of you the very best of luck. And I hope to again see you maybe in different places doing well. Yeah. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Participants, feedback form has been posted in chat box. Kindly fill it out and note that please enter your email IDs and all everything properly without any spelling mistake. So kindly go and check the chat box and there's a link. Please fill the form, feedback form. As we near the conclusion of this webinar, it's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of the organizing team. A heartfelt gratitude to esteemed speakers Dr. Mamta Mishra and Dr. Anuradha M, who have generously shared their expertise and insights with us today. Your presentations have been enlightening, thought-provoking, and very inspiring. We are truly grateful for your valuable contributions and knowledge you have imparted. And also, I take this opportunity to thank our authorities of Padma Shri Group of Institutes, Mr. T.K. Narayanappa, Managing Trustee, and Mr. Satish, Chairman, and also Dr. Rajesh Shenoy, Director of Padma Shri Group of Institutions, for their constant support. I would like to appreciate all the participants for their active engagement, insightful questions, and also valuable contributions throughout the webinar. Thank you for this engaging in this session. We hope that today's webinar has inspired you to explore the vast possibilities offered by futuristic careers and also seek out scholarship opportunities that can help you achieve your goals. Also, I would like to acknowledge the entire organizing team for their meticulous planning, which made this webinar possible. Remember, the future is an open canvas ready to be painted with innovative ideas and dreams yet to be realized. Let us embrace the possibilities of futuristic careers and harness the power of scholarship to shape a better tomorrow. Thank you all, and may your journey towards a future filled with success and fulfillment be filled with endless opportunities.